Hey TPK, I'm going to try to burn through this pretty quickly, but today I want to show you how to get the most out of the new layout update that I just released a couple days ago. So if you go over to Stats and Options in the Layout Shop, you'll see the brand new Layout Shop. So my goal is to teach you how to create a new layout. I'm expecting that you're already familiar with the different layouts of the game and various parts of the game, and of course familiar with TPK. Very, very familiar with TPK. Because this is not an easy task to do, and it is a labor of love. And trust me when I say this, I made this because I've gotten so many requests from people that they want to make TPK layouts, and it means a lot to me that people take the time and the energy to make these layouts. So what I'm trying to do is to try to get you guys to get the most out of your efforts creating layouts. So if you go to the Layout Shop, you'll have access to the Create Layouts panel. And because I'm an artist, I see all of this, but I can just go ahead and get rid of it. Because as a user, you will see this. And before you have any layouts, you can't edit any layouts. So I'm going to go ahead and click Create New Layout. So I would prefer, if people don't make a ton of layouts, try to be reasonable and only make layouts when you want to test out something or try something. But that's what it's there for. So now we're on the new layout. So I'm just going to quickly scroll through this, and I will try to talk about everything here. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and hit save immediately and test it out. So now when I hit the test button, I am using the new layout that I've created. You'll see it looks exactly like the shiny Mega Rayquaza layout. That is the default layout. So if you go ahead and scroll down, you'll see the D here. You'll see the D here. And the D represents the default value. Let's say I go ahead and change the font color from black to white. You'll notice that the box turns orange a little bit, or darker, depending on your layout, of course. And this signifies that this is a value that's changed. So when the value changes, you'll notice the D goes away. And so basically this is signifying that it is not a default value anymore. The reason I've done the default values this way is that as I go ahead and add new layout elements to layouts, then it will propagate to all of the old layouts, and that way they won't. We used to have this problem where when I tried to add something, it was this whole mess about updating it properly. Now I'll be able to add something and it'll go everywhere immediately. Right now, there's not a way to return to default value. I'd like to add that in the future. But if you do see like a reset to default value button here, you can click that and it will reset. With that being said, I'm just going to go top to bottom and explain everything. Layout name, description, icon, those are all pretty obvious things. The icon is maybe doesn't make a ton of sense. Right now, I'm just having people paste in a link for a Pokemon Sprite. I'll show you how to get that if you don't know already. So you can go to the Pokédex. Pick a Pokemon you want. Of course, I will pick Bellsprout. And all the sprites and icons are here. And if you right-click on it, actually, you're not going to see this. Here, right-click on it, view image. It's something similar on Chrome. You can copy this link, and that is the link for the icon. If I go back to my layouts, bam, you would paste that right there. The description and layout name are pretty obvious. So the cost, so I haven't decided whether I want to allow you to get some of that money back or not, but the layout cost just says like, how much are you paying for this? It's the same property for the official layouts. The is layout public field is pretty simple. If it's no, only you can see it or other artist ranks can see it. If it's yes, it will appear in the user layouts list. And layout official and created by, these are only admin fields only. Okay, also see some other metadata. So you can see who created it. That's what displays in the layout editor. If you have a layout that is not assigned to the right person, you're going to have to let me or Satch know, Mr. Altios, to change the created by value for you. So let me explain the difference between background image, background color, and background gradient. Actually, I don't think I explained colors yet. So if you're not familiar with colors, colors are represented as CSS colors. So they can be either real color names. So you can actually use red, blue, green, white. Those will all work, but that's not a very precise value. So usually we prefer to have a RGB value. I don't know if Wikipedia will have this, but it's like, basically it's like this with an RGB value. So you've got a pound sign, your red portion of the color, your green portion of the color, and then your blue portion of the color. And there's tons of color pickers out there. So if I just Google color picker, yeah, Google literally has one built in, and it'll tell you the hex value. And you can go ahead and pick your color like that. The way I like to do it, granted, I am a developer, but what I prefer to do is do it raw. So if I inspect element, God, you can't see this crap, the right click stuff. So if I inspect element, this should work in Chrome as well. It'll be slightly different, but it's essentially the same. I know that I'm on, so I can right click on this element and inspect it, and it should pop up the exact element that you selected. And now I can see there's a color here that I can edit. So when I click this, it pops up with a color editor. And now I can go ahead and drag around and pick the color I want. Like let's say I like this. And now it has given me a color, and I can click here, copy the color, and paste that into my link, or paste that into the layout editor. So that's my favorite way to pick colors, and you can do that throughout the whole site and keep progressing. You can also Google Color Picker and do it this way. So that is CSS colors. So next we're going to talk about background images. So background images are pretty simple. So instead of using the color, you just say URL parenthesis quotation mark your layout URL and then parenthesis quotation mark. So this is using a path that is already on TPK, but because you're editing your image, you won't have that. So one way you can do it is to upload it to Imgur or upload it to Discord or something, and then use that image link here. So for example, if you get an Imgur URL, it would probably look like this, .com/whatever.png, and that would work as a URL image. So you can actually use that URL anywhere where it says background. You could use it in the background over here with background color. You could use it in content background, so this color. You can use it in header background, so up here. So you have a lot of options and places that you can use background image. So the final one is gradients, and this is probably the most complicated. But if you just Google CSS gradient, you can not have to write this yourself, and you can generate it on the fly. So actually, Nerdy Vulpix showed me this, and I really like this because I was writing them by hand before. So you can go ahead, pick your gradient you want. You can add colors, change it to radial, change it to whatever you want. And once you're happy with it, you can come down here, and it's going to give you these two properties. Now, you only want to copy this part. So just this, it has to have linear gradient and no semicolon, no background, only this part, copy that in, and then you can replace another gradient with it. So I'm going to take this one, paste it in, and now you'll see, if it worked correctly, you will see the background update accordingly. So this is definitely the way you should do this. You can use radial gradients or linear gradients. It should just work. I want to show you how to do these banners. So if you right click on this, fine. If you right click on this and do copy link location. Oh, no, it's not that. It's, I guess you can inspect element. Oh no, you can't do that anymore because it's a CSS variable now. But anyway, I know how to do it. So in order to do this hangover image, you need one image that's exactly 995 times 245. That's this image. And the next image is 155 times 245. Probably like, so the bottom half of this image is going to be hidden. I don't know, like maybe this much. You're not going to have to worry about it when you're using this method because it's covered up at the bottom here. And then this guy is the image that's going to hang over. Now, this has been a big pain point for a lot of people making layouts. So there's a new method now where if you make a new file and you use 1150 by 160, you can actually make a banner here. So let me just go ahead and do that. This is a banner. I'm so awesome. You just can't believe. So now I've uploaded it to Discord. And am I still showing my whole screen? Yeah. So I uploaded it to Discord, and now I've got this link. Again, you can use Imgur or something else like that. And instead of having it split between this left image and right image, like I showed you, you can delete both of these, type none here, none and none, and then here you do URL and your URL, and then close it with the closing quotation marks. So that's URL, left parenthesis, quote, URL, quote, right parenthesis. And now you'll see your banner appeared. When I save, now I see my banner displayed, and you don't have to split it. The thing about this, though, is I made it transparent in the background. You shouldn't make it transparent when you're using this method. The other method lets you have a color that's solid behind it. So I really should have made it like white or something. So yeah, that's how you do the split banner. Okay, so now I hope I've explained everything. So I'm just going to go through each thing one by one and say what this property is associated with. Font family is basically what font you're using. Probably shouldn't change this, but if you want, just Google font family, and you'll find out some things you could put here. Font color, like I showed you before, it's the main font color, background color. That's this color over here. Menu gradient is used in the menu, on buttons. It's used so many places. And menu active gradient is this color. So the color when you click on a link in the navigation, it's the color now when you highlight over things. And then menu gradient color and menu active gradient color, those are what is on top of either the menu gradient or the menu active gradient. So right now it's black. When I click on it, it turns to white over the active gradient. All right, scrolling down again. Content background is this thing, this color right here. Content border is the borders that separate everything. So this is a black border. These are black borders, black border here. And you can change, I don't know why I let you change the 2 pixel solid. Like you could do dotted. That would look ridiculous. Let's try it though. Yeah, this is ridiculous, but you can technically do this if you wanted. The header overlay and Pokemon background, basically that is this color and the Pokemon color behind here. A note about the overlay background. So this has a little bit of transparency with the latest update. So you'll notice you can see the this behind the background, and that's done with a RGBA color. So here's your red, green, blue. You get that from the color picker. And you can also add an alpha property. And I have been using CC. I would highly recommend that your newer layouts use this transparency because I think it looks a lot better. And that's how you add it. You put a CC at the end of your color. I think if you go to color picker as well, you can add that in. Maybe, nah, not on this one. But again, you just add it by typing in CC at the end there. So the header notification background, that is the new notification box that has the number of notifications in it, and you can change the gradient and the color of the text for notifications if you want. Mobile menu color, that's for mobile mode. Oh no, that's the font color, I think. I think mobile mode's a little screwed up right now. It's dash color, so it's a font color. Okay, navigation drop down background. This one's a little confusing. That is this color behind the navigation, and same for mobile mode. Hyperlink color, hyperlink font family, so and hyperlink hover color. Those are all colors associated with links in the game. You can change the font of links. You can also change the color and the hover state. Right now, they're the same color when you hover, but you are welcome to change that. Okay, now we're on to the table properties. So these are all pretty self-explanatory. There's the table border, the table background. Background is more like a border than you might think. So if I go to a table, you can see the background color here. Curvy woes, am I right? But this is the background color behind. This is the title color. And then this is A, table row A and table row B backgrounds. So input border, that is border around buttons. So this 2-pixel border, you can change that. Input font color, input background. So here's another trick. For input background, I actually copied the menu gradient variable. You are welcome to do this as well if you want to share the same color between different places. This is equivalent to having the menu gradient one copied into this field from a CSS perspective. Okay, input text background is for the text boxes, the inputs, and larger text boxes, and I think select fields as well. All right, select, error, and neutral. These are the backgrounds that are used for error success boxes as well as the info boxes, which we call neutral. They're all over the game. I think pretty easy to distinguish. And then error, success, and neutral text. So these are not used very often, but they are used sometimes. This color right here, that one is using the error text. And if you go to trades, this is the error text, and this is the success text. And neutral text would be like pending trades. All right, options page background, that is this color. And it's called options page because that's when I first used it on the options. But this is like any tabbed layout has this color behind it. It's not a table exactly, but it's kind of like another front and center piece, like to promote content. So announcements and Pokemon selection. Announcements is the color that is used for the news post pop-up and the announcement pop-up. But it's actually used in many more places as well. And kind of trickily. I actually don't remember it, but these two colors are the same here. You can change them if you want. Oh, Pokemon selection background? Isn't that for I don't remember what it's for, honestly. It's for something. No, it's for selecting Pokemon here. Oh, well, this doesn't work. So that's nice. Or there's no highlights here, I just noticed. So I think that's supposed to be doing that. Side menu link A, and side menu link B. Those are used for chatter P. And if I had the FAQ on, these two colors are represented there. All right, the hue highlight filter is I think right now it's only used for the flashing mine button. And this is like a toggle on and off to show that something has been highlighted. And right now I'm using it under a filter command. Just Google CSS filter if you want to change that. I would say you probably shouldn't change that. Highlight animation gradient. This is used for trainer level up and for XP events and stuff. And then there's a rainbow animation one, which is used for like pinnacle Pokemon. Tooltip background, that is used for these tooltips that exist everywhere in the game. Shows you a nice color. And you can change the border of that as well. Message background, that is used for the message pop-ups. I guess I can show you my site notifications. So it's basically this color. And this little arrow actually isn't a gradient. It's just a single color. And that's why there's two things for a background and for the right arrow portion. If you notice this, it actually kind of looks a little weird, but try to make the best of it if you go to change that. Okay, bar background, %bar background, XP bar background. These are the progress bars used in the game, and you can change the gradient and border background color for that. Okay, continue background, continue border. This is the battle continue button. We're on to Chatterpie. So this is the alternating colors for Chatterpie messages. And the highlight color is what's used when somebody shouts out your name. I don't know why this is RGB. It should be like... Honestly, why is it black too? Like, this is pretty weird. I don't know why it looks like this. But that's what that's for. And finally, we are on to all the different ranks. So this is if you're an admin, developer, supermod, you can change all those colors. And the last one is the secret engine tile set. So I added this right at the end of the layout update. This lets you change the tile set that's in use if you want to be one of those people to update it. I'm not going to go into it too much, but just copy the link here, paste it in, and you can get this image and mess with this and then re-upload it to use for secret engine. Obviously, the color chests were never used. And then delete layout. There is no undo for the delete layout button. So, you know, it pops up with a confirmation box if you want to delete it. And it doesn't refund people who have paid for it in the past. So yeah, but you can delete it at the bottom here. Okay, so that's it for the layout update. I think I've gone through everything by now. So with that being said, like I said at the beginning, I'm really excited for people to be using this update and to try to make some awesome stuff for TPK with this, because I love using all the layouts, and just seeing them pop up out of nowhere is so cool to me. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy, and I will see you in the next one.